Let's go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Heartland Championship Wrestling. My name is Dave Little, and we are coming to you live from the Dave Cave with action from Pro Wrestling Mid-America. Jim Lawrence, first in line at the turnstile, gets to watch live this week. Jim Lawrence is a new dad this week. Brought home a new puppy dog. Saw that on Facebook. Congratulations to you, my man, and best wishes for life as a dog dad. So loving that. We are coming to you tonight from Jackson, Mississippi. It is the Mississippi Coliseum, not far down the road from Memphis, Tennessee, with some exciting action from Pro Wrestling Mid-America. No title matches tonight, but we have got 3 number 1 contenders matches that are all important, as well as a no disqualification grudge match lined up for this evening. In your main event, it will be a number 1 contenders match for the NWA World Tag Team Championship, as the team of the Mongols, Bolo and Gito, takes on the team of the Wild-Eyed Southern Boys, Tommy Rich and Tracy Smothers. Jay Rand is now also here in the chat room. Thank you for joining us. These 2 teams will square off for a shot. Next in line at the Midnight Express, your reigning NWA World Tag Team Champions. Kathy Evans joining us here. Thank you, Kathy, for tuning in tonight. Also tonight, matches of great importance to Pro Wrestling Mid-America. Number 1 contenders match for the PWMA Tag Team Championship pits Jack and Jerry Brisco against the team of Nick Bockwinkel and Ray the Crippler Stevens. Captain Carl joining us here tonight. Yeah, the place is filling up. All the cool people are here. So classic rivalry between some of the great classic wrestlers in the sport. The Brisco brothers, Nick Bockwinkel, Ray the Crippler Stevens, all looking for a shot at Tag Team Gold in Pro Wrestling Mid-America. Also a number 1 contenders match for the PWMA Heavyweight Championship. 2 former Lone Star Heavyweight Champions square off as Don MURACO takes on Dan Severn. And a no disqualification grudge match coming up between 2 men who tangled fiercely at the Buckeye Bowl earlier this month. Sergeant Slaughter versus Arn Anderson. Good matchup there indeed. All right, before we came to air, the show opened. Gosh, we had a couple of serious beatdowns tonight in Pro Wrestling Mid-America here in Jackson, Mississippi. Don Fry, the Predator, started things off just absolutely taking MJF out behind the woodshed and beating him down. Not going to take any lip from a snot-nosed little punk like MJF. And it was Don Fry winning the match by countout after dropping MJF throat first across the steel security railing. And maybe that throat drop will be the thing that shuts up MJF somehow. I doubt it. Also, in another beatdown, we saw Stu Hart suffer a bad beating at the hands of the Iron Sheik. Iron Sheik taking control of Stu Hart with rough stuff right off the jump. Took him out of the ring, beat him down, threw him back in the ring, camel clutch, and that was all she wrote. Iron Sheik with a big win over Stu Hart in his Pro Wrestling Mid-America debut. Inauspicious, to say the least. We also saw a couple of competitive tag team matches. The team of Danny Hodge and Wilbur Snyder picking up a victory over the Vachon brothers, as Danny Hodge pinned Mad Dog Vachon with an Oklahoma side roll. And just before we came to air, a very good back and forth match as the team of Crusher and Red Bastien defeated Austin Idol and Dennis Condrey. Idol and Condrey had the advantage for a good bit of that match before Condrey took a beating from the Crusher, and the Crusher submitted Dennis Condrey with a bear hug to end that one. As Mark Ferguson joins us here in the chat, and we are just about ready for tonight's televised matchups. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the opening televised contest of the night is scheduled for one fall with a 45-minute time limit. Disqualification rules will be in effect. This is a #1 contenders match for the Pro Wrestling Mid-America Heavyweight Championship. The winner of this will move on to meet Jackie Fargo for the titles. Introducing first, out of Sunset Beach, Hawaii. He stands at 6'3". He weighs 273 pounds. This is the magnificent Don MURACO. And his opponent hails from Coldwater, Michigan, standing at 6'2", weighing 251 pounds. This is the Beast, Dan Severn. So the Magnificent One versus the Beast in tonight's opening contest. The winner will go to Atlanta on February the 7th for a title match at our next pay-per-view, Heartland Havoc 132. You can't touch this. All right, and we are ready to go here in Jackson, Mississippi, the Mississippi Coliseum filled with enthusiastic fans, as Severn and MURACO come together, and it is MURACO gaining control here off of the opening lockup, and it is MURACO attempting a double chop to the neck. That is an agility move. He'll need 9 or lower to hit that, and he connects with that double shot to the neck, but Severn not going to be swayed by that. It is Severn who comes right back. And it is Severn coming back at MURACO with a gut-wrench suplex. MURACO blocks that one. And MURACO, back in control now, is going to attempt a Russian leg sweep. He'll need 8 or lower to hit that, and he connects. And Severn goes down, gets back to his feet, both men coming back together in the center of the ring. Nothing decided there in that opening series. Both men a little back and forth there. And as they come together again, it is Dan Severn with a whip to the turnbuckle. MURACO coming off the turnbuckle, and on a roll of 9, it is Dan Severn with a big belly-to-belly throw as MURACO came off the turnbuckle, and MURACO is down. Neely Bob joining us, the #1 fan of the Heartland. Welcome to you, my friend. Severn now in control. He's going to go for a choke sleeper. He can get a submission here on a roll of 3 or lower, but on a roll of 9, MURACO is able to survive and make his way to the bottom rope. Dan Severn has taken control here. And now Severn is going to go for a shoulder slam. This is a choice G maneuver. He'll need 6 or lower to hit this, and he is able to lock in and throw down with that shoulder slam. MURACO rolls out of the ring and down to the arena floor. And out of the ring we go. And on a roll of 6, it is MURACO winning the brawl on the arena floor and slamming the head of Dan Severn into the ring post. Will we see a disqualification here? No, indeed we will not. MURACO in the ring and in control. And now he hits the Asiatic spike. That is an add 1 move. So MURACO now getting some retaliation and trying to weaken his man. Here is a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Severn. And on a roll of 9, that is the power rating. The power is equal. And so MURACO maintains the advantage after that collision in the center of the ring. MURACO now over the shoulder backbreaker, and Severn hits the mat hard. Struggling back to his feet, MURACO stays on him, rolling neck snap, taking Severn down to the canvas. MURACO keeping the pressure on with another whip to the ropes. Severn coming off the ropes, and on a roll of 10, that is the running double clothesline. And the wrestler with the better ropes rating, they are equivalent. So the wrestler on offense, Don MURACO, keeps the advantage. He's on level 3 offense now, and he hits SEVERN with a swinging neck breaker that plants SEVERN on the back of the neck. MURACO now methodically in control, trying to weaken SEVERN. Another big suplex delivered by MURACO, and an assortment of suplexes. And here comes MURACO for a quick cover, and on a roll of 7, SEVERN able to kick out, but MURACO has taken control here and is beginning to weaken his man. MURACO follows that up with a slingshot onto the bottom rope. SEVERN able to block that. Both men getting to their feet now and coming together in the center of the ring. SEVERN attempts a waistlock takedown. MURACO blocks that one, and instead it is MURACO with another big suplex, belly to back suplex, planting SEVERN again on the back of the neck in the center of the ring. That did not feel good. MURACO now back in control, and MURACO now is going to pitch Dan SEVERN out of the ring and down to the arena floor. We'll see what kind of rough stuff MURACO has in mind. It is going to be MURACO winning the brawl with a pile driver onto the ring steps. Goodness gracious, what did the ring steps ever do to deserve that? MURACO back in the ring and in control. Another Asiatic spike. And SEVERN has noticeably been weakened. SEVERN now rolling out of the ring of his own accord. And on a roll of 3, it is SEVERN who grabs the leg of MURACO and pulls MURACO out of the ring and Irish whips MURACO into the ring steps. The ring steps are taking a beating here tonight as MURACO crashes in hard. SEVERN now has control, and SEVERN is going to go for an arm bar. He may get a submission here, and on a roll of snake eyes, he got him. Great back and forth action between Dan SEVERN and Don MURACO. SEVERN gets the victory by way of the armbar. He is your new #1 contender, and he will face Jackie Fargo for the Pro Wrestling Mid-America Heavyweight Championship next month in Atlanta at our pay-per-view. And SEVERN has been a thorn in the side of the entire Whatever We Want faction. In fact, it was SEVERN and Ron Garvin getting the award for Feud of the Year as they battled multiple members of Whatever We Want, and now SEVERN can take the biggest bite out of Whatever We Want that you can imagine if he can take Jackie Fargo down and win the Pro Wrestling Mid-America Championship at next month's pay-per-view. SEVERN is literally a beast, says Jim Lawrence. And let's see, Tony Storm. Neely Bob looking for a Tony Storm card for Velvet Championship Wrestling, and can't blame you for that. She's quite the performer indeed. So yeah, Dan SEVERN, your winner in the opening matchup here on our broadcast, and the new #1 contender for a shot at Jackie Fargo next month in Atlanta. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have another #1 contenders contest coming up. The following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 60-minute time limit. Disqualification rules will be in effect. This is a #1 contenders match for the Pro Wrestling Mid-America Tag Team Championship. Introducing first, team #1. First from San Francisco, California. He stands at 5'10". He weighs 230 pounds. This is Ray the Crippler Stevens. And his tag team partner hails from Beverly Hills, California, standing at 6'1", weighing 245 pounds. This is Nick Bockwinkel. So Nick Bockwinkel, Ray Stevens, set to move out against their opponents at a total combined weight of 441 pounds out of Blackwell, Oklahoma. This is Jack and Jerry Briscoe, the Briscoe brothers. So lots of great rivalries being played out here. Jack Briscoe, Nick Bockwinkel, two of the greats of the sport. Jerry Briscoe, a fine tag team wrestler, fine light heavyweight wrestler, and Ray Stevens had a very long and distinguished career. So these four men are looking for the opportunity to go to Atlanta and wrestle for the tag team championships against the current champions, Stan Hansen and Ole Anderson. So as the teams come out, it's going to be Jerry Briscoe starting things off against Nick Bockwinkel. And it is Bockwinkel who takes control off of the opening lockup and attempts to take Jerry Briscoe down with a snapmare. He got him down, and Briscoe is unable to get over and make the tag. Bockwinkel stays on him and quickly rolls him over into a Boston Crab. Submission hold applied here right from the start. Jerry Briscoe very nearly forced to submit, but finally able to get to the bottom rope. As Nick Bockwinkel now is in control and is just going to pitch Jerry Briscoe out of the ring. We're going to see some more rough stuff here in Mississippi, as out on the arena floor, it is Nick Bockwinkel hitting a drop kick that takes Jerry Briscoe up and over the steel security railing. Bockwinkel will wait for Jerry Briscoe to make that helpless crawl back into the ring. Bockwinkel and his partner are waiting, double team opportunity for Bockwinkel and Stevens, but on a roll of 11, it is a misfire as Jerry Briscoe ducks out of the way of the double team, and Bockwinkel and Stevens collide. Jerry Briscoe gets to take over on the offense there, and it is Briscoe now rolling Nick Bockwinkel over into a Boston Crab. How about that turn of fortune? But Bockwinkel able to reach over and make the tag to partner Ray Stevens, and the match will continue. Ray Stevens, Jerry Briscoe now the legal men in the ring. Stevens attempting a knee lift. That's an agility move. Jerry Briscoe deftly sidesteps that and comes back with a whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Ray Stevens, but on a roll of 3, it is Stevens bouncing off of the turnbuckle and nailing Jerry Briscoe with a skull-splitting running lariat. Briscoe now is hurt and Ray Stevens is in control. A giant swing plants Jerry Briscoe on the canvas. Both men getting to their feet. As they come together in the center of the ring, it is Jerry Briscoe going to his back and flipping Ray Stevens over in a monkey flip that takes Stevens down to the mat. Jerry will tag brother Jack into the match now for the first time. Jack Briscoe in against Ray Stevens. He is going to go for an airplane spin. He will need a roll of 8 or lower to connect on that. And Ray Stevens able to slip out the back door. And Stevens instead with a jumping knee smash that stuns Jack Briscoe. Stevens goes for the quick cover, but Jack is able to kick out. Stevens maintaining control. Now a double team attack. Stevens and Bockwinkel both in the ring pummeling on Jack Briscoe. That's going to cost him a point of fatigue. Briscoe slow to get to his feet as the referee is putting Ray Stevens out of the ring. Nick Bockwinkel now the legal man in the ring and in control. Bockwinkel going to attempt a drop kick. He will need 7 or lower to hit that. He nailed it. And Jack Briscoe is stunned. Tries to tag in brother Jerry. He is able to do so. Jerry Briscoe now comes in as the legal man in the ring. And it is Jerry Briscoe taking Nick Bockwinkel over with that very same monkey flip that he executed earlier in this match. And now Bockwinkel making the quick tag to his partner. Both these teams very well coordinated, lots of quick tags. Stevens now comes in with a series of punches to the midsection. Jerry Briscoe fires right back, tries to take him down for an armbar, but is unable to do so. Stevens, the stronger of these two men, instead is going to come back with a running lariat, and he nails Jerry Briscoe with that running lariat, and Jerry Briscoe now is hurt. Ray Stevens now comes at him with a big jumping knee smash. Jerry Briscoe still hurt. Ray Stevens stays on him. Giant swing. He gets him around and around and down. Double team opportunity once again for Bockwinkel and Stevens, and this time it is an awesome, deadly elbow smash delivered by Nick Bockwinkel, and Jerry Briscoe remains stunned. Nick Bockwinkel now the legal man in the ring as D. Scott Howard joins us. Hello to you, my friend. Bockwinkel now going to attempt a drop kick, and he is able to connect on the drop kick, and Jerry Briscoe is staggered. Bockwinkel stays on him, and this time he is going to attempt an arm bar, and he's got him down in the arm bar. Jerry desperately trying to get over and make the tag, and he is able to bring Brother Jack back into the mat for the Briscoe brothers. Very good back and forth action here, much as we expected. Jack Briscoe now comes in and takes Bockwinkel down with a snapmare. Bockwinkel with the quick tag back to Ray Stevens. In and out faster than anybody can keep track of. Here's Ray Stevens with an arm drag to take Jack Briscoe down to the mat. Ray Stevens with a neck breaker, spins him around, drops him on the back of his neck. Stevens now is going to follow that up with another neck breaker. Jack Briscoe is hurt. And Bockwinkel and Stevens with a chance at another double team, and it is another deadly elbow smash delivered by Nick Bockwinkel. Bockwinkel and Stevens, if nothing else, have controlled the momentum of this match over the last couple minutes, although have not done any real damage as of yet. But here is Bockwinkel with a back suplex. Down to the canvas hard goes Jack Briscoe. Jack getting to his feet. Bockwinkel stays on him. Another back suplex. Now he's going to go for the cover, and Jack forced to kick out. Jack Briscoe now at 3 points of fatigue, and that means it's time for Jerry Briscoe to intervene on behalf of his brother. But on a roll of 9, it is Ray Stevens coming into the ring to take out Jerry Briscoe. And that leaves Jack susceptible at the hands of Nick Bockwinkel, as that reversal unsuccessful. Bockwinkel now back in control with a pile driver. He's going to go for the cover, and on a roll of 5, he got him. So Nick Bockwinkel with the pile driver pins Jack Briscoe. Jerry unable to make the pin save on that occasion, as he was being put out of the ring by the referee before he could get back in to save his brother. Bockwinkel dropped him with the pile driver, and that was all she wrote. New number 1 contenders for the PWMA Tag Team Championship in Atlanta next month. Nick Bockwinkel and Ray Stevens will challenge Stan Hansen and Ole Anderson. What a match that will be between two formidable tag teams indeed. All right, and now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our grudge match this evening. Going to take a break here for just a moment. Add a little water to the throat to keep things moist and smooth. And we're hitting a good pace, and if things go well, we'll finish up here in time to watch another football game tonight. Anybody watch the Broncos and the Patriots? What a fascinating game that was. Started off in sunshine and ended up in a blizzard. And I will not divulge any spoilers in case somebody hasn't watched and wants to catch a replay or a DVR of the game later. But it was snow football at its finest for the good part of the second half. And that made me, my two observations about that. Number one, that's the way football was meant to be played. I don't need any of this dome nonsense. Give me a football field covered in snow and, 22 men beating the snot out of each other in the middle of a blizzard, and I am a happy man. Perfect playoff weather, says D. Scott Howard. The other thing that show reminded me, that game reminded me, I'm so glad my son was a basketball player. That's what I always told him. Basketball, the greatest sport of them all for parenting purposes. You need very minimal equipment. You don't have to stand out in the bad weather. And just a water bottle and a pair of gym shorts and you're good to go. So thank goodness my son played basketball in his athletic career. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a grudge match stemming from multiple confrontations during the recent Buckeye Bowl between these two men. They have scheduled this as a no disqualification grudge match, introducing first out of the great state of Minnesota. This week, I don't know if that's the place I want to visit. But anyhow, out of the great state of Minnesota, he stands at 6 foot tall. He weighs 249 pounds. This is Arn Anderson. And his opponent, and he is accompanied to the ring by the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. His opponent hails from Parris Island, South Carolina, standing at 6'4", weighing 305 pounds. This is Sergeant Slaughter. So Sergeant Slaughter set to move out against Arn Anderson in a grudge match under the watchful eye of Jimmy Hart at ringside. Although I must point out that Hart and Arn Anderson have had some tense moments here recently in perhaps a chink in the armor of the Whatever We Want faction here in Pro Wrestling Mid-America. But tonight it is no disqualification between these two men, and as they come together in the center of the ring, it is Sergeant Slaughter with a big clothesline that stuns Arn Anderson. Anderson getting to his feet, and as they come together, Arn Anderson is going to back Sergeant Slaughter into the corner and attempt a monkey flip, unable to get him over, as Slaughter maintains control, and Slaughter now with a gut buster, dumping Arn Anderson hard across the knee. Does Sergeant Slaughter. Slaughter now in control, another throat drop, this time onto the top rope. Anderson quickly rolls out of the ring and down to the arena floor, but on the arena floor, it is Sergeant Slaughter winning that battle and backdropping Arn Anderson onto the announcer's table. Arn Anderson off to a rough start here tonight in Jackson, and now a backbreaker drop delivered by Sergeant Slaughter, adding injury to insult there. Sergeant Slaughter standing over his man, very systematic. Whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Arn Anderson. And this time, Sergeant Slaughter sets his head too early. And Arn Anderson catches him and dumps him with a big DDT onto the apron. Onto the mat. And now it is Sergeant Slaughter who is down. Arn Anderson now standing armbar. Can he force the submission? No, he cannot. But already starting to do some damage to Sergeant Slaughter, working that body part, as the Anderson family tradition would have you be aware. And now it is Arn Anderson again continuing to work that standing armbar, and now it is Slaughter headed out of the ring and down to the arena floor. And this time again it is Arn Anderson winning the brawl on the arena floor, and Anderson slams the head of Sergeant Slaughter into the ring apron. Anderson back in control with a spinning spine buster. And that is an add one move. He's going to go for the cover here. And he didn't get him, but Sergeant Slaughter kicked out. Sergeant Slaughter has taken some damage now after that big move by Arn Anderson. Anderson now another spinning spine buster. And Sergeant Slaughter is hurting. He's in trouble here. Anderson keeping on the offense with a measured knee drop. Arn Anderson, very systematic, very methodical in putting a hurting on Sergeant Slaughter. Now a big left hand from Arn Anderson. And Sergeant Slaughter is going to answer back. And it is Sergeant Slaughter who grabs Arn Anderson. Throat drop onto the top rope once again. And now it is Anderson who is hurting. Sergeant Slaughter now in control. Slaughter with another throat drop onto the top rope. Jimmy Hart crying out for his man to suck it up and keep on the fight as Slaughter nails Arn Anderson with a military boot. Kick to the head, very vicious. Slaughter keeping on the offensive, whip to the ropes. And as Anderson comes off the ropes, it is Slaughter with a running back elbow that stuns Arn Anderson. Slaughter now with a gut buster. Anderson rolls out of the ring and down to the arena floor. And this time on the arena floor, it is going to be Arn Anderson winning the brawl with a diving clothesline off of the ring apron. Anderson tried to get back into the ring. Slaughter pulled him out, and Arn Anderson caught him with a left-hand lariat as Slaughter pulled him off the ring apron. Anderson now in control, and we're going to see more out of the ring action here, brought to you by Arn Anderson. Sergeant Slaughter is down. Anderson looking to create some mayhem here in Jackson. And on a roll of 9, it's going to be outside interference. Terry Funk coming in on behalf of Arn Anderson. Jimmy Hart also getting involved here. And on a roll of 10, it is Hart attempting to smash Sergeant Slaughter with the megaphone, but he accidentally hits Arn Anderson instead. Jimmy Hart has just hit Arn Anderson with the megaphone. Terry Funk is outraged. Sergeant Slaughter has the opportunity to do some damage here. And Slaughter is going to pile drive Arn Anderson onto the ring steps. Arn Anderson has just gotten his bell rung twice, once by his own manager. Slaughter now in control. The Slaughter Cannon coming off of the middle turnbuckle takes Anderson back down to the canvas. It is warfare here in Mississippi. A big body slam attempted by Sergeant Slaughter. Arn Anderson breaks free from that, and it is Anderson instead with a whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Sergeant Slaughter, and on a roll of 9, it is a big kick from Arn Anderson that stuns Sergeant Slaughter. Another whip into the turnbuckle, and this time it is an incredible neck-breaking clothesline delivered by Arn Anderson to put Slaughter on the canvas. Anderson now back to the spinning spine buster. Takes another point of fatigue. Terry Funk and Jimmy Hart are still going at it at ringside. And now it looks like Ole Anderson has come down to try and make peace between Jimmy Hart and Terry Funk as Slaughter and Anderson continue to battle in the ring. Arn Anderson is going for a DDT. Can he get the cover? No, Sergeant Slaughter just able to kick out from the DDT, and action continues as Anderson tries to put away Sergeant Slaughter. Now a low angle shoulder tackle takes Slaughter down to the canvas. Slaughter getting to his feet slowly. Anderson's on him with a whip to the ropes. And as Slaughter comes off the ropes, Anderson drops down. He comes back the other way, and it is Sergeant Slaughter with a running shoulder tackle, overpowering Arn Anderson and taking Anderson back down to the mat. Here is Sergeant Slaughter with a whip to the ropes. And this time it is Arn Anderson with a running shoulder tackle that takes Slaughter down. Anderson raking the eyes of Sergeant Slaughter with his boot. Anderson now with a kick to the midsection. Sergeant Slaughter fires back. Slaughter picks him up and drops him throat first again across the top rope. A big drop kick by Sergeant Slaughter puts Arn Anderson down. That's a heck of a drop kick for a 300-pounder. And now it is Slaughter taking things out of the ring yet again. And Arn Anderson is going to win this brawl with an Irish whip into the ring steps. Slaughter and Anderson are going at it back and forth, just trying to beat the stuffings out of each other. Jimmy Hart is no longer part of the equation. Slaughter on one knee. Arn Anderson going back to that standing arm bar. And another rake of the eyes from Arn Anderson. Another measured knee drop, and now it is Slaughter rolling out of the ring. And now it is Arn Anderson winning another brawl on the arena floor, dropping stomach first across the security railing. And on a roll of 9, Sergeant Slaughter barely able to make it back into the ring. He can barely stand up. Arn Anderson has the chance to finish him off here. Standing armbar applied once again, And once again, it is Sergeant Slaughter rolling out of the ring and down to the arena floor, and this time it is Slaughter with a body slam onto the arena floor. Can Sergeant Slaughter make the big comeback here? We remain out of the ring. Mayhem brought to you by Sergeant Slaughter. He's going to set up a table. And the table has been set up on the arena floor. It's gut check time here in Jackson, Mississippi, as Arn Anderson wins the gut check roll by virtue of his fatigue. Sergeant Slaughter able to set up the table, but Arn Anderson gets there first and backdrops Sergeant Slaughter through the table, and he is going to be unable to continue. So Arn Anderson gets the decision in this match after backdropping Sergeant Slaughter through a table at ringside. Sergeant Slaughter is down, and he's going to require some assistance to get him back to the backstage area. Jimmy Hart attempting to celebrate. Arn Anderson has no interest in celebrating with Jimmy Hart because Arn Anderson still has a big old knot on his head from getting clocked by that megaphone. So the tension in the Whatever We Want faction continues. But tonight it is Arn Anderson with the victory over Sergeant Slaughter, with Terry Funk attempting to keep the peace among the members of Whatever We Want. All right, and now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our main event of the evening. I'm getting a message from YouTube about low bandwidth, but my OBS says we're still up and running. So if you can hear me, give me a sound check or give me a thumbs up one way or the other if our connection is still doing well. Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is your main event of the evening. It's scheduled for one fall with a 60-minute time limit. Disqualification rules will be in effect. This match is a number one contenders match for the NWA World Tag Team Championship. As Highlight Heyday is here just in time for the main event. Everything looks and sounds great. Thank you to everybody for the feedback. As we are ready for tag team number one to be introduced at a total combined weight of 570 pounds out of Zagreb, Croatia, Bolo and Gito, the Mongols. And their opponents, collectively hailing from the state of Tennessee, at a total combined weight of 474 pounds. These are the wild-eyed Southern boys, Tracy Smothers and Tommy Rich. The Southern boys, of course, one of the most popular tag teams in the Heartland. The hearts of the fans are with them here tonight in Mississippi. The Mongols, a very dangerous team indeed, and as you know, there were 3 Mongols carded. Bolo, of course, Bill Eadie, a.k.a. the Masked Superstar, a.k.a. Demolition Axe. Guido Mongol did not have nearly the extensive career as either of his partners, but I use these two because they both have the pin 6-3 rating. The third Mongol is Beppo, a.k.a. Nikolai Volkov, who has a 7-4 pin rating. So it is Bolo and Gito here tonight wrestling for a shot at the World Tag Team Championship. And what the heck, we'll use the championship dice on this one, even though there's no official title on the line. And it is going to be Tommy Rich and Bolo Mongo starting things off for their respective units. And it is Bolo Mongo getting the opening control and going right for a choke on the ropes, a choice D maneuver. He will need 9 or lower to be successful with that, and he is choking Tommy Rich on the ropes right off of the opening match, the opening lockup, and the referee immediately in the face of Bolo Mongol, who doesn't appear that he could care less. He shoves Tommy Rich into the corner, and now it is going to be double team pummeling in the corner, executed by both of the Mongols. Tommy Rich going to roll out of the ring and down to the arena floor. Gito now the legal competitor in the ring as we go to the arena floor, and it is Tommy Rich firing fists and fury at Gito. Both men may be disqualified in this out of the ring brawl. They will not. And now we go to the odd even roll, and on a roll of 2 it is Tommy Rich winning the slugfest on the arena floor and taking control back in the ring with a pile driver. And now Gito is going to go right out of the ring again. And here we go. And this time it is Tommy Rich winning the brawl on the arena floor with a throat drop onto the security railing. We have seen how nasty that can be. And as they come back into the ring, Tommy Rich is going to go for a death jump. Death jump coming up on Gito Mongol, and on a roll of 8 he nailed it. And Gito is down. That's going to be a double team opportunity for the Southern boys. And on a roll of 10, it is Tracy Smothers delivering a deadly elbow smash to Gito Mongol. Smothers now the legal man in the ring and in control with a flying shoulder block. But Gito stands his ground, absorbs the flying shoulder block, and it is Gito instead who catches Tracy Smothers and applies a big bear hug. Tracy Smothers, bear hug applied on Gito Mongol, bear hug applied on Tracy Smothers. Gito now with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Tracy Smothers, and it is a big running back elbow by Gito that stuns Tracy Smothers. Gito now with a standing knee drop. Tracy going to try and make the tag and is able to get there and bring Tommy Rich back into the ring as the legal man. Tommy Rich coming in. Fireman's carry takeover. Gito blocks that, and Gito instead with a big knee lift that stuns Tommy Rich. Tommy not able to make the tag. Gito will tag in his partner Bolo Mongol, and the attack will continue for Bolo with a back elbow smash. Bolo still in control, tries for a wrenching face lock, but Tommy is able to successfully escape that, and Tommy with a big elbow smash to the top of the head of Bolo stuns Bolo. Bolo not able to get out of the ring as Tommy Rich continues his attack with a big right uppercut. That was nasty. Tommy Rich now in control, another big right uppercut, and Bolo is going to try once again to make the tag, and this time he is able to get there and tag Gito Mongol back into this match. Gito now the legal man with a kick to the midsection. Tommy Rich fires right back with an elbow smash. Tommy follows that up with another big right uppercut, and Gito is stunned. Tommy Rich working those punches with great effectiveness here tonight. More punches delivered. Double team opportunity for the Southern boys. And on a roll of 10, this time it is a duck away. As Gito Mongol alertly ducks out of the double team attempt and is able to take advantage of a collision between Tommy Rich and Tracy Smothers. And now a standing knee drop delivered by Gito to Tommy Rich. Gito now in control with another big knee lift. And Gito going to follow that up with a kick to the midsection. Tommy Rich firing back. Tommy Rich with a big fist drop onto Gito, and Gito is going to roll out of the ring and down to the arena floor. But on the arena floor, it is Tommy Rich again winning that brawl with a pile driver onto the ring steps. Gito in trouble here as Tommy Rich is going to take things out of the ring yet again. And on a roll of 11, that is Tommy Rich coming at Gito with the ring bell itself. The ring bell has come into play And Guido Mongol gets his bell rung by Tommy Rich. We will not see a disqualification here. Fight on, says the referee. This is the #1 contenders match. Out of the ring, the action remains. And now it is Tommy Wildfire Rich who is going to escalate things on the shenanigans chart. And he now is going to attempt to set up a table. The table has been set up, but the 10 count is on. And both wrestlers return to the center of the ring where Guido Mongol is going to take control. So Tommy took his time getting that table set up. But now Guido is in control. And he is going to pitch Tommy Rich out of the ring again. And again, he knocks Tommy Rich off of the ring apron, forcing Tommy Rich once again to make that helpless crawl back into the ring. Double team opportunity coming up for the Mongols. And this time it is a bone-crunching double clothesline delivered by Bolo and Guito, leaving Tommy Rich in trouble. Bolo with a crushing bear hug. This is a submission move. Can he force the submission? Almost. But Tommy Rich just able to work his way free before being forced to give it up. Bolo still in control. And Bolo now is going to go up for a death jump. Maybe not his style, but it's on the chart. And sure enough, on a roll of 9, he hits a flying clothesline off of the top turnbuckle that puts Tommy Rich back down onto the canvas. Another double team opportunity for the Mongols here, and this time it is a botch. Bolo holding the opponent. Guido coming off the ropes with a deadly elbow smash, and instead Guido catches Bolo right between the eyes. Tommy Rich rolls him up, alertly makes the cover, and Bolo just able to kick out. Tommy Rich now in control. Tommy Rich is going to tag in his partner Tracy Smothers at this juncture, and it is Smothers coming in with a flying shoulder block that stuns Bolo Mongol. Tracy Smothers back in control with a series of looping right hands. Bolo fires right back and takes Tracy down to the canvas with a double chop to the side of the neck. Tracy gets back up. A waistlock takedown attempted by Bolo Mongol, but Tracy works his way free of that. Duck under, go behind, and a jumping wheel kick by Tracy Smothers. That stuns Bolo Mongol. Great reversal there by Tracy. Tracy now with a whip to the turnbuckle. Bolo comes off the turnbuckle, and Tracy nails him with an incredible neck-breaking clothesline. Bolo is down. Tracy now going for a big elbow drop. Can Bolo make the tag? No, he cannot. Tracy maintains control with a running cross body. Bolo once again is down. And Tracy now stuns Bolo with a slingshot drop kick. Tracy Smothers on fire here. Coming back with another jumping wheel kick that stuns Bolo the Mongol. Tracy now going to attempt a clothesline. This is a choice F maneuver. He will need 7 or lower to hit that. And on a roll of 7, he got him. And Bolo Mongol once again is down. Double team opportunity for the Southern boys. And it's a deadly face first double suplex and a pin opportunity. The pin roll here is 4. And on a roll of 11, Bolo able to kick out. Tommy Rich now the legal man in the ring and in control. Chance to do some damage here. A pile driver by Tommy Rich. Bolo trying to struggle to his feet, desperately wanting to get out for a tag. Rich fires away with a series of fired up punches, but finally Bolo able to make the tag and bring Guito back into the ring. Very evenly matched contest here. Guito catches Tommy Rich with a hammerlock. Follows that up with a front face lock. Tommy Rich on the reversal with a whip to the ropes. Guito Mongol coming off the ropes, but on a roll of 4. That is the situation where Tommy Rich sets his head a beat too soon. Guito comes off and piles and catches Tommy Rich and drops him with an awesome pile driver. Guito now goes for a top rope knee drop. Pin opportunity here. Tommy Rich able to kick out as Guito stays on him. And now it is out of the ring we go. Both men out of the ring. And on a roll of 10, it is Guido Mongol, who is going to introduce a foreign object. He picks up the ring bell, and he clocks Tommy Rich with the ring bell. And once again, the referee's going to let him fight. What's good for the goose is good for the Mongol. Guido now in control. He is going to go for a middle rope flying kick. This is a choice H maneuver. So we can either go death jump B or agility 7. We'll go death jump B. And on a roll of 5, bad idea, as Guido is intercepted by Tommy Rich, and Rich dumps Guido Mongol off of the top turnbuckle and down to the canvas. Tommy Rich now in control. Wild Flyer sleeper applied. Can he force the submission here? Almost. Guido going to one knee. Tommy going to take the opportunity to tag Tracy into the match, the much fresher of the two men. And it is Tracy with a big elbow drop that misses. As Guido was able to roll away to safety. And Guido now with a face mangler on Tracy Smothers. Guido Mongol is in control. And now it is Guido back to that big bear hug, weakening Tracy Smothers. And now Guido with a thought about a whip to the turnbuckle, and instead he's going to try a slam into the turnbuckle, a choice C maneuver. He will need 7 or lower to complete that, and he does. And Tracy Smothers goes down. He caught him hard in the turnbuckle. And Guido now going to go for a top rope knee drop and a pin attempt on 3 or lower. Tracy able to kick out of that one. And Guido now is on a roll. The Gobi nerve hold applied by Guido. Tracy working his way back up to his feet. And it is Tracy now with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Guido, and on a roll of 6, that is the drop down and go the other way. And on a roll of 5, that is a running shoulder tackle by Guido that puts Tracy back down onto the canvas. Guido in control, another whip to the ropes. Tracy coming off the ropes, and this time it is Tracy with the running shoulder block that takes Guido down. Back and forth we go, and now a running a running cross body block delivered by Tracy off of the ropes. And Guido goes down and is able to crawl over and tag in partner Bolo Mongol. Bolo now the legal man in the ring. Bolo coming with a test of strength, but Tracy's not going to fall for that. Tracy instead comes back, fakes the test of strength, and instead nails a jumping wheel kick that caught Bolo out of nowhere. Another jumping wheel kick by Tracy, and Bolo is stunned. Tracy now on a roll. Flying shoulder block. Bolo goes down. Tracy now going to go up for a death jump. Death jump attempt coming up, and on a roll of 10, he is going to nail it. Let's see, death jump B10 is the agility rating, and that does belong to Tracy. So Bolo is down once again. And now it's a double team attempt for the Wild-Eyed Southern Boys. And on a roll of 9, it is a running forearm smash delivered by Tommy Rich to maintain control on Bolo Mongol. An elbow smash delivered. Tommy follows that up with a big right uppercut. Bolo taking the punishment, but Tommy unable to get him off the feet with those fired up punches. And now another double team for the Southern Boys. And this time it is another deadly elbow smash delivered by Tracy Smothers. Bolo Mongol, the biggest man in this match. The Southern Boys cannot get him down. As now a series of looping right hands again has Bolo reeling. And now a running cross body block. And again, Bolo will not go down. Tracy follows that up with another jumping wheel kick. Bolo will still not go down. Another double team attempt coming here, and this time it is an awesome deadly elbow smash delivered by Tommy Rich. And Bolo, they still cannot get him off his feet. Tommy Wildfire Rich comes in with a whip to the turnbuckle. And as Bolo comes off the turnbuckle, it is a big kick delivered by Tommy Rich. Tommy follows that up with another whip to the turnbuckle. And finally, Tommy with an incredible neck-breaking clothesline that takes Bolo down to the mat. Tommy with a chance to do some damage here. Vertical suplex. Bolo again getting back to his feet. Tommy's going to tag in Tracy. Tracy comes in with a flying shoulder block. Bolo again absorbing the punishment. And Bolo comes back with a test of strength, and this time grabs Tracy by the wrists and takes him down to his knees. Bolo going to tag in Gito Mongol. Bolo absorbed a lot of punishment there. And Gito comes in with a big knee lift that stuns Tracy. Gito following that up with a hammerlock attempt on Tracy. Taking control now, he's going to attempt a slam to the turnbuckle. This is a choice C maneuver, so he will need a roll of 7 or lower to hit that, and he does not. Tracy Smothers able to avoid that slam into the turnbuckle, and Tracy instead comes off with a running cross body that stuns Gito. Tracy following that up with a series of looping right hands, and he caught one to the side of the head that puts Gito down on his back. And now a moonsault body block delivered by Tracy. Can Gito make the tag? Yes, he can, and he needed that in the worst way. As Bolo now returns to the ring. Back and forth we go. Now a whip to the turnbuckle. Tracy Smothers coming off the turnbuckle, and on a roll of 5, that is a skull-splitting running lariat delivered by Tracy Smothers. Bolo is hurt. Tracy is on him. Into the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Bolo Mongol into a big kick by Tracy Smothers. Tracy follows that up with a jumping wheel kick, and Bolo is down once again. Tracy Smothers looking for a finish. Slingshot drop kick. Didn't get all of it. Tracy maintains the offensive with another running cross body. Bolo still will not go down. Tracy with another whip to the turnbuckle. And an incredible neck-breaking clothesline delivered by Tracy Smothers. Tag to Tommy Rich. Can Tommy Rich get the finish? He is going to go up for a death jump, is Tommy. And on a roll of 5, Bolo caught him and threw Tommy Rich down to the canvas in the center of the ring. Bolo now in control. Bolo is going to go up for a death jump of his own. And on a roll of 6, he nailed the death jump. And he is going to stay on the offense here. And now he goes for the crushing bear hug. Submission roll here, 6 or lower. Tracy has to attempt to save. On a roll of 10, he is unable to save his partner. And on a roll of 7, Tommy just able to survive. Double team opportunity now for the Mongols. And on a roll of 4, it is a devastating double team move. A double clothesline that adds another point of fatigue to Tommy Rich. Gito now the legal man in the ring. Tommy Rich in big trouble here, as Gito is going to go up for a death jump of his own. And on a roll of 8, he connects. Tracy Smothers has got to do something. Tracy Smothers has got to intervene here. But on a roll of 8, as Tracy hits the ring, the referee puts Tracy out of the ring. And Gito is able to maintain control. No more pin saves for the Wild-Eyed Southern Boys as Gito snatches Tommy Rich again in a bear hug. Tommy Rich may be forced to submit here, and on a roll of 6, he got him. Your winner by submission, Gito Mongol, with a bear hug on Tommy Rich. And we have new #1 contenders for the NWA World Tag Team Championship. Congratulations to the Mongols. Both teams very well coordinated in their teamwork. Bolo and Gito get the victory, and they will move to Atlanta on February 7th to take on the team of Stan Hansen and Ole Anderson for the Atlantic Tag Team Champion, for the NWA. I'm sorry, this was NWA World. So it will be the Mongols against the Midnight Express, Mongols versus Midnight Express for the NWA World Tag Team Championship next month in Atlanta. All right, my voice survived. My YouTube stream survived. The crowd has survived. Thank you everybody for coming out tonight as we wrap things up. Mark Ferguson, Dave Gardner, in here. Didn't catch you coming in, Dave. Welcome to the broadcast. Neely Bob, Mark Ferguson, Kathy Evans, Highlight Heyday, D. Scott Howard, Jim Lawrence, Captain Carl, Kathy Evans, Jay Randus, all in attendance here tonight. Thank you one and all for tuning in. I will be back on the airwaves with a Heartland highlight review probably on Thursday night. And next Saturday night we will be back on the channel, Saturday or Sunday, depending on what the schedules look like. I never know until the weekend comes what my schedule is going to look like. But this week, our midweek show will be coming from Buffalo, as Johnny Valentine will be in Buffalo to defend the North American Heavyweight Championship against Vader. And next weekend, we will be in Mobile, Alabama, with a steel cage main event, Big John Studd and Blackjack Mulligan. So until the next time we meet, thank you all for tuning in. That's our stream, and I am out of here.